The vast black of space stretched endlessly, pierced only by distant stars and the faint hum of the alien warship Zirath Dominion. Inside, hundreds of alien soldiers moved through the corridors with purpose, their claws tapping against metal floors. The air smelled faintly of fuel and something metallic. The ship was massive, its walls lined with weapons and screens showing planets below. Among the soldiers, laughter echoed. "You still believe their myths, don't you?" Cathar's deep voice rolled through the mess hall. He leaned back in his chair, tentacles draped across the table, showing off his rank and scars. Around him, young recruits laughed nervously, unsure if they should join in. Humans? One young alien, Zorvak, said quietly. "They are supposed to be so strong?" Cathar bared his fangs in amusement. "Strong? They are fragile, weak, and short-lived. Yet, their stories tell of humans lifting massive beasts, surviving fires, and even fighting alone against armies. Ha! Preposterous." Other soldiers joined in, their voices rising. They mimicked humans, waving their tiny arms, in exaggerated gestures and falling to the floor dramatically. "Look at me. I am a human warrior. I survive everything and still laugh at death." Zorvak watched silently. He had heard the stories too. Even on his homeworld, whispers of humans reached the ears of alien children. Stories of their strange resilience, their ability to heal quickly, and their courage against overwhelming odds. But no alien had ever met a human until now. And Cathar's laughter made him doubt everything. The younger soldiers finished eating, and the group moved toward the observation deck. From here, the human colony below looked peaceful. Small clusters of lights flickered, showing that humans were awake, living simple lives. The alien sensors could detect weapons, but nothing seemed advanced enough to threaten the Dominion's fleet. "They are so weak," Cathar said, eyes narrowing as he studied the planet. "Yet somehow these myths survive. Perhaps their minds are stronger than their bodies, or maybe they just have a lucky spirit." Zorvak frowned. "Lucky spirit?" he asked, almost to himself. "Yes," Cathar said sharply. "Humans survive accidents, disasters, and even other species. They tell stories that make them look like gods, but they are nothing. You will see soon enough." The aliens prepared for landing. Machines hummed and clanked as troops readied weapons. The human colony, small and seemingly defenseless, was their next conquest. And the aliens were confident. Not one among them believed the stories of human strength. As Zorvak followed the soldiers to the transport pods, a whisper caught his attention. A scarred veteran spoke quietly to another soldier. "Remember the old war champion? The human who fought 10 of our best and survived? They say he is dead, but some swear he lives." Cathar overheard and barked a laugh. "Do not speak of legends. Humans are mortal. Their champions are either dead or failures. Their so-called war hero was lucky. Luck is all they have." Still, Zorvak could not shake the thought. What if the stories were true? What if humans were not as weak as everyone believed? The landing was quick. The alien pods dropped from orbit, engines glowing bright against the night sky. They touched down near the colony's edge. Human defenders were small in number, armed with rifles and shields, but their eyes were steady. They did not panic. The aliens advanced in formation, scanning the area. "Attack!" Cathar commanded, and energy blasts filled the air. Trees and rocks exploded as humans dodged and countered with clever traps. Zorvak's jaw dropped. Humans were not running. They moved quickly, ducking behind barriers, returning fire with precision. One human leapt from a ridge, flipping over an alien's head, and landed behind him. Zorvak had to admit he had never seen anyone move like that. Cathar growled. "Foolish humans. You think you can challenge us. Your lives end today." But the humans didn't just dodge. They worked together, pulling wounded comrades from danger and using the terrain to their advantage. Even small children were protected, showing discipline and organization that surprised Zorvak. One alien soldier, young and brash, fired too soon. A human threw a device, knocking the alien back. His armor was damaged and he struggled to get up. Zorvak helped him stand, shaking his head. "These humans—" "They are different," Zorvak muttered. "Different?" Cathar's voice was sharp. "They are weak. You let one minor surprise shake your mind?" Zorvak could not answer. He watched as humans dragged their injured and moved forward, even when their weapons were damaged. Their courage was undeniable. Later, the soldiers set up camp near the colony. Cathar roared in anger, blaming failures on the soldiers. "They are only lucky. Nothing more," he shouted. But Zorvak noticed patterns. Humans helped each other, healed quickly, and even when they were outnumbered, they stood their ground. Myths? Perhaps, or maybe truth was stranger than fiction. That night, Zorvak could not sleep. He wandered the edge of the camp and saw the colony lights shimmering in the distance. Quiet whispers carried in the wind, stories of heroes, sacrifices, and battles won against impossible odds. A shadow moved. An old human approached, not attacking, not afraid. Scars ran across his face and arms, showing years of battles. Even without weapons, his presence was commanding. The aliens noticed him, and a hush fell over their camp. "This is the war champion," one veteran muttered, eyes wide. "We thought he was dead." Zorvak's heart pounded. He had heard tales, but seeing this human, alive, standing calmly before them, felt unreal. His mind raced. Could the legends be true? Could one human survive when all others failed? Cathar laughed nervously, trying to hide his unease. "It cannot be. Legends die with age. He is old and weak." But the human did not move to attack. Instead, he walked among the humans, giving quiet orders, tending to the wounded, and showing them how to strengthen their defenses. His presence alone inspired courage and focus. Zorvak watched silently, realizing that this was more than myth. There was power in humans, not just physical, but something deeper, something no alien weapon could touch. The human returned to the colony as dawn approached, and the alien soldiers began to prepare for their next attack. Yet whispers and doubts ran through the ranks. Even the veterans could not hide the growing unease. Zorvak looked at Cathar. Maybe the stories were not lies," he said softly. Cathar's eyes narrowed. "Do not speak such nonsense. They are still weak. We will destroy them tomorrow, and then we will see if any myths remain." But Zorvak was already thinking differently. He could feel the shift. Something about humans was not to be underestimated. And when the first battle truly began, he feared they might face more than just soldiers. They might face legends that walked among the living. Above them, stars stretched endlessly, and in the quiet of space, the alien soldiers prepared for war. Yet one young recruit's mind was changed forever. Legends might be real, and humans might be more than they seemed. The human colony lay quiet under the cold glow of its planet's twin moons. From above, it looked fragile, almost insignificant. Alien sensors marked every structure, every movement, and yet the humans below moved with calm precision. The alien pods had landed at the colony's edge. The troops disembarked, heavy claws clanking against the rocks. Cathar led the charge, his eyes scanning the area for any resistance. "Stay alert," he hissed. "These humans are fragile, but legends or not, we cannot be careless." Zorvak followed silently, still thinking of the war champion he had seen the night before. His mind replayed every detail, the calm, the scars, the way humans seemed to anticipate every danger. He had never felt respect for a human, and yet now he felt unease. The aliens advanced into the settlement. They expected chaos, fear, and surrender. But they found order. Humans moved together in teams, setting up defensive positions with speed and precision. Zorvak's sensors detected weapons, but they were crude compared to alien technology. Still, the humans used them efficiently. The first shots were fired, not by the aliens, but by humans. Energy bolts flared from hidden positions, striking alien soldiers before they could react. Rocks and debris were thrown with perfect aim, disabling drones and vehicles. Cathar growled. "Pathetic! Fire everything! Crush them!" The aliens obeyed. Cannons roared and the ground shook as explosions tore through the perimeter. Humans fell, yes, but they did not flee. Some limped, some were scorched, yet they continued to fight. Zorvak saw one human leap over an explosion, landing with a roll and immediately firing back. Another lifted a heavy slab of metal to shield. 2 children, moving them out of danger. Zorvak's mouth went dry. How are they still moving? He muttered. A young recruit beside him shrieked in panic as a human pulled a heavy beam and swung it at an alien, knocking him backward. Zorvak saw the alien's armor dent, and the soldier struggled to rise. "Focus!" Cathar bellowed, though even he began to show frustration. "They are only lucky. Aim better." But luck alone could not explain the human's efficiency. Zorvak's eyes widened as he observed a wounded human bandaging another's leg while still fighting off drones. Another human carried several crates of supplies, sprinting across open ground without hesitation. Every action was precise, every movement purposeful. Zorvak began to understand. These humans were not only resilient, they were clever, resourceful, and coordinated. The myths he had laughed at as a child suddenly felt real. Then, from the center of the colony, a figure emerged. Old, scarred, and walking with a deliberate calm, the war champion appeared. Even the humans seemed to defer to him, moving faster, fighting harder, and taking strategic positions. The alien troops froze. Cathar's jaw tightened. "Impossible," he muttered. "He is dead. He cannot exist." Zorvak felt a chill. He could see the respect humans had for this figure. The war champion moved among his people, pointing, guiding, and giving quiet orders. Even wounded humans obeyed immediately, inspired simply by his presence. Zorvak whispered, "It's him, the war champion." "Don't speak nonsense," Cathar growled. "He is just an old human, weak and slow. Watch, and you will see him crumble." The aliens advanced. Energy bolts screamed across the battlefield, hitting walls, floors, and sometimes humans. Yet each time, humans recovered, ducked, or countered with unexpected tactics. A human soldier threw a device at a drone. It exploded, disabling the machine, and sending it crashing into alien ranks. Another human pulled a wounded companion to safety, shielding him from a blast. The aliens began to hesitate. Zorvak noticed their formation breaking, small cracks appearing as confusion spread. Cathar roared and charged forward personally. "This ends now," he bellowed, firing his weapon with precision. But the human war champion, calm and measured, moved just beyond reach, dodging effortlessly. He guided nearby humans to flank Cathar's troops, creating chaos in the alien lines. Zorvak's heart pounded. "They are not just surviving. They are winning," he muttered. Another wave of aliens tried to suppress the humans. Zorvak watched as a human soldier, barely taller than him, pulled off a maneuver that should have been impossible. Using speed and timing, the human dodged multiple attacks and disabled 2 alien drones. "Preposterous," Cathar hissed, his pride wounded. They cannot survive like this." But Zorvak could not deny what he saw. Humans were doing more than surviving. They were adapting, thinking faster than the aliens, anticipating moves, and using teamwork to overcome raw strength and technology. As the battle raged, Zorvak noticed small acts that made the difference. Humans lifted fallen comrades, carried supplies under fire, and coordinated strikes that targeted alien weaknesses. One group even used the terrain cleverly, forcing alien troops into traps. Zorvak's mind raced. This is beyond strength. It is unity. Cathar's eyes narrowed. Enough! Push forward! He yelled. But even he hesitated as another human leapt from a building, taking out 3 of his soldiers in seconds. Then the war champion spoke. Not a shout, not a battle cry, but calm, commanding words. Hold your positions. Protect the weak. We do not fight alone. Zorvak froze. He had never heard words carry so much power. Even wounded humans stood taller, moved faster, and fought harder at that command. Their courage was contagious. The aliens continued their attacks, but Zorvak began to notice a pattern. No matter how many fell, humans moved forward. No matter how powerful the weapons, humans adapted. And always, the war champion was at the center, calm, unyielding, inspiring his people. By the end of the first day, the aliens had gained ground, but the humans had not been broken. They had lost some, yes, but their defense was still strong. Zorvak saw humans tending to the wounded, reorganizing and preparing for another fight. Cathar stood among the remaining aliens, panting. They are more resilient than I thought, he admitted grudgingly. Zorvak nodded slowly. Not resilient, more. Stronger than we imagined, not just in body but in mind and spirit. Cathar's claws tightened. This is nonsense. They are only surviving by chance. Wait until tomorrow. When we concentrate our attack, they will fall. Zorvak shook his head. Maybe you do not understand yet. They are fighting as one. They protect each other. Their strength is not in luck. It is in unity. The alien troops prepared for the night. Zorvak could not sleep. He walked to the edge of the battlefield, staring at the colony below. Humans moved quietly, repairing defenses, helping the wounded, and organizing their small forces. And always, the war champion was at the center, guiding without force, commanding without fear. Zorvak's mind churned with questions. Could humans really be as strong as the legends claimed? Could one figure, one champion, truly inspire a population to defy technology and armies far stronger than themselves? Above them, the twin moons shone brightly, casting shadows over the battlefield. In the silence, Zorvak made a quiet promise to himself. Whatever happened tomorrow, he would watch closely. The humans he had mocked all his life might be more than myths. They might be unstoppable. As dawn approached, the alien forces regrouped, their confidence shaken. Cathar tried to maintain authority, but whispers ran among the troops. Even the young recruits began to doubt. Zorvak looked toward the colony and saw the war champion standing tall, scars visible, eyes sharp, calm, focused, and unyielding. One figure against 1,000 doubts, and yet he radiated power stronger than any weapon. Zorvak felt a strange sense of fear, respect, and excitement. He realized that tomorrow the real test would begin. And if the humans continued to fight like this, the aliens might finally understand the truth behind their myths. The Bao. First contact had begun, and Zorvak knew the galaxy would never view humans the same way again. The battlefield was quiet now, though the tension hung heavy in the air. Smoke rose from shattered buildings, and craters dotted the once peaceful human colony. The alien soldiers gathered, catching their breath after the first day of combat. They had expected humans to flee or surrender quickly, but instead, they had met resistance unlike anything they had seen before. Zorvak moved among them, his eyes fixed on the center of the colony. There, standing tall despite years of battles and scars that told of countless wounds, was the human war champion, Rahl. Even in the dim morning light, his presence commanded attention. His eyes were calm yet sharp, scanning the aliens' positions as if reading their minds. Cathar growled. "Do not be fooled by appearances. He is old and weak. Legends are only stories. We will crush him today." Zorvak shook his head, though he did not speak. The day before had shown him enough. This human was different. Rahl stepped forward, walking calmly toward the aliens' temporary camp. There were no weapons in his hands, no shields or armor, just his presence and the confidence of one who had survived countless battles. The alien soldiers tensed. Cathar barked an order, raising his weapon. "Do not approach. Fire on him if he comes closer." But Rahl did not attack. Instead, he spoke in a voice that was calm, yet carried a weight no alien had ever felt. "I am Rahl. You know me, yet you do not. You have laughed at our stories, called our myths lies, and believed humans are weak. Today, you will see the truth." The aliens exchanged confused looks. Some murmured in disbelief. How could one human, unarmed, speak so boldly to an entire army? Zorvak stepped forward quietly. He felt a strange mixture of fear and admiration. "It is true," he whispered to himself. He is real. The war champion." Rahl continued. "For generations, humans have faced challenges greater than ourselves. We have fought storms, beasts, and enemies stronger than we are. You think our stories are lies, but they are truth. Every tale of a human surviving impossible odds, every myth of courage and strength, it is real because we endure when others cannot." Cathar growled, tightening his claws. "Enough words! We are not here to listen to old tales. We are here to destroy you." Rahl did not flinch. "If you wish to see strength, watch carefully." He raised his arms, and at his signal, a group of humans moved to the front lines. They lifted heavy debris to block alien paths, carried supplies, under fire and tended to the wounded all without hesitation. One human, small but determined, hurled a boulder that knocked a drone from the sky. Another used a rope to pull a disabled alien vehicle into a trap, sending several soldiers tumbling. Zorvak's jaw dropped. He had seen tactics like this in simulations, but never executed with such speed and precision by beings so seemingly weak. This cannot be normal," he whispered. Rahl's eyes scanned the alien ranks. "You laugh at us, yet you cannot understand the strength that comes from unity. Humans fight together. We protect each other. We endure. We adapt. You have weapons and technology, yet alone, you are weaker than a single human in spirit." Murmurs ran through the alien troops. Even seasoned veterans began to hesitate. They had never been addressed like this by an opponent, let alone one unarmed. One young recruit stepped forward, voice shaking. He is just one human. How can one old warrior inspire all these people?" Rahl smiled faintly. "I am not alone. Every human you see stands with me. Every life we protect, every action we take, strengthens us. We are not just individuals. We are a force beyond your understanding. This is why our myths exist, not to scare, but to remind ourselves of what we can achieve when we do not stand alone." Zorvak felt something shift inside him. He had believed the myths were exaggerations, tricks to make humans seem strong. Now he realized the truth. The legends were accurate, and humans' real power came from something far greater than physical strength. It was their unity, their courage, and their will. Cathar's anger grew. "Enough!" he shouted. "You talk too much! Humans are mortal! You will die, as all mortals do!" Rahl did not respond with anger. He simply moved with calm precision, signaling humans around him to adjust positions. They moved as one, forming a defensive line that covered the injured and strengthened their weak points. Then, with careful timing, they struck. A small team of humans disabled alien weapons, while another group used ropes and machinery to block the aliens' approach. Zorvac could hardly believe his eyes. Each move was precise, powerful, and coordinated. One human, injured and limping, lifted a fallen comrade with ease and continued fighting, as if the pain did not exist. Another hurled a metal beam, knocking an alien soldier backward. They are not just lucky, Zorvac muttered under his breath. They are perfect together. They fight as one. Rawl's calm voice cut through the air again. Strength is not only in our bodies, it is in our minds, our hearts, and our bonds with each other. You call it myth because you cannot imagine it, but every human you see is capable of greatness, beyond what you understand. That is the truth you mock, Cathar growled, frustrated. His claws shook as he prepared to strike, but even he paused. The human's calm, precise, and determined actions were unlike anything he had expected. Zorvac stepped closer to the front, ignoring the orders of his commander. He watched a wounded human soldier stand again, helping another to his feet, and continue to fight. The display of courage and coordination was overwhelming. I have underestimated them, Zorvac admitted quietly. They are more than myths. They are unstoppable when united. The alien soldiers tried to regain control. Cannons fired, energy blasts streaked across the field, and some humans fell, but every time, others stepped forward to continue the fight. Even when wounded, they moved with determination, protected their allies, and turned the battlefield to their advantage. Rawl's voice rang out again. You may have weapons, but we have each other. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every life in our colony. That is our greatest weapon, and it cannot be destroyed by force alone. Zorvac's heart pounded. He realized that no matter how strong the aliens were, they could never break the human spirit. The war champion had shown them that strength was not only physical, it was something far deeper. Cathar's anger grew, but doubt had begun to creep into his mind. He watched humans lift, move, fight, and heal in ways that seemed impossible. The legends were true. The first day of battle ended with neither side fully victorious. The aliens held parts of the colony, but the humans had not been broken. They moved, repaired, and prepared for the next day, their spirits unshaken. Zorvac stayed at the edge of the battlefield, watching Rawl move among his people. The war champion helped the injured, guided the young, and encouraged the strong. Each word, each gesture inspired humans to continue the fight, showing that myths were not just stories. They were truths, carried forward in every action. I have never seen anything like this, Zorvac whispered. They are not weak. They are perfect together. They are more than legends. That night, the aliens regrouped, uneasy and unsettled. Cathar tried to maintain control, but whispers ran among the ranks. Some questioned their orders, some wondered if humans were truly as powerful as the stories claimed. Zorvac felt a strange pride and fear at the same time. He had been trained to fight aliens, not legends. Above, the moons cast their pale light over the colony. Humans worked tirelessly through the night, preparing defenses and helping each other recover from injuries. And always, Rawl was at the center, calm and commanding, showing that true strength came not from weapons or numbers, but from courage, will, and unity. Zorvac understood now. The myths were not lies. Humans were capable of things the aliens could hardly imagine. And when the next day of battle began, the aliens would face not just soldiers, they would face legends alive, moving, and unstoppable. For the first time, he wondered if the legends he had doubted as a child were the key to humanity's survival, and the beginning of a story that would spread across the galaxy for generations to come. The battlefield stretched wide under the harsh glare of the sun. Smoke and debris still hung in the air from the previous days of fighting, and the alien troops moved cautiously, wary of the humans they had once thought weak. The humans had not only survived, they had adapted, strategized, and even counterattacked. Zorvac walked along the edge of the alien lines, his mind racing. Every time he thought he understood human strength, they surprised him again. And at the center of it all was Raal, the war champion. Calm, scarred, and unwavering, he inspired every human to act with precision and courage. Cathar approached him, claws clenched. "We cannot allow this to continue. These humans are strong, yes, but they are still mortal. Today, I will end this, and their legend will die with them." Zorvac swallowed. You might not be able to, sir. Humans are not just strong. They fight as one, think as one, and endure when all seems lost. Cathar growled. "Enough talk. You will see how fragile they are." The alien commander stepped forward from the ranks, his weapon ready, signaling the troops to hold position. At the same time, Raal moved from the human ranks, calm and steady. He had challenged the alien commander indirectly, knowing the confrontation was inevitable. His plan was simple: show them what humans were capable of, not through words, but action. The two leaders faced each other across the open ground. Dust swirled in the air as humans and aliens watched from their positions. Silence fell over the battlefield, broken only by the distant hum of alien machinery and the faint rustle of human activity. Raal spoke first, his voice carrying clearly. "If you wish to test strength, then test it against me. I do not fight alone, but I will show you the truth of humanity. Watch closely." Cathar's claws flexed as he roared, "So be it! You will die, human, and your people will fall with you." And with that, the duel began. The alien commander struck first, swinging a heavy weapon with deadly force. Raal moved with fluid grace, dodging the attack effortlessly. His speed was precise, calculated, and almost impossible to follow. He used the terrain to his advantage, rolling behind cover, leaping over obstacles, and striking in unexpected ways. Zorvac could hardly breathe as he watched. Every move was strategic, every action efficient. Even though the alien commander was far stronger and heavily armored, he could not land a decisive blow. Raal anticipated his movements, dodged, countered, and used minimal effort to keep the fight under control. The humans watching were inspired. Even those far from the duel felt the courage radiating from Raal. They moved with more confidence, repaired defenses, and prepared supplies with renewed energy. The alien soldiers, on the other hand, began to hesitate. Their commander, the embodiment of their strength, was being outmaneuvered by a single human. Zorvac whispered to himself, "It's not just skill. It's strategy, patience, and courage." Raal's calm eyes never left the alien commander. He spoke softly, not to taunt, but to instruct himself and demonstrate his control. Every action matters. Every step can turn the tide. Strength alone does not win battles. Mind and will do. The alien commander swung again, this time with raw power, but Raal sidestepped, using the momentum to trip him and send him tumbling to the ground. The aliens gasped. Their champion, their strongest warrior, had been defeated by one human, using skill, precision, and strategy rather than brute force. Cathar's claws tightened. "Impossible! No one can do this!" Zorvac's heart pounded. He had been trained to fight aliens, to calculate their strengths, and yet he realized now that humans could adapt in ways no simulation could predict. "It's not impossible," he muttered. "They are humans, and they fight as one." Raal continued, never striking to kill, but controlling the fight completely. He moved quickly, using the alien commander's strength against him. Each dodge, each feint, and each strike taught a lesson. Physical power is meaningless without control, precision, and unity. The alien troops watched in disbelief. Some whispered, some froze in fear, and others began to question their orders. If their commander could be outmatched by a single human, what hope did they have? Zorvac felt a strange pride swelling inside him. He had always been taught to see humans as weak, fragile, and unworthy of respect. Now he realized their true power, not just their bodies, but their minds, hearts, and spirit. Rawl's movements were a dance of efficiency. He disarmed a strike, used the alien commander's momentum to push him back, and stepped lightly, never allowing the heavier opponent to regain control. The humans around him worked silently, assisting without interfering, providing moral support, and preparing for the next wave. Cathar's eyes narrowed, rage and fear mixing in his gaze. "You will not survive the next strike," he roared. Rawl smiled faintly, dodging yet another blow. "You underestimate the will of humans. We endure when others fail. We adapt when others cannot. Strength is more than muscle. It is heart, mind, and unity." Zorvac could not stop staring. Every move demonstrated not just skill, but an unbreakable spirit. Humans were not just soldiers. They were a force that inspired awe. Even injured, they continued to fight, protect each other, and maintain control of their positions. The duel continued for hours. Neither Rawl nor the alien commander yielded, but the difference was clear. The human champion had control of every moment, every move, and every reaction. The aliens were forced to adapt to his tactics, something they had never experienced before. Finally, Rawl seized an opportunity. Using a combination of speed, precision, and strategy, he disarmed the alien commander, sending his weapon skidding across the battlefield. He stood over him calm and unwavering, ready to strike, but not to kill. "Do you see now?" Rawl asked, his voice carrying across the battlefield. "Strength without unity, without will, without mind, is meaningless. Humans endure, adapt, and protect each other. That is our power. That is why myths exist. They are the truth of our spirit." The alien soldiers were silent. Even Cathar hesitated, his confidence shaken. Zorvac felt awe, fear, and inspiration all at once. He realized that humans were not only capable of surviving, they could overcome enemies stronger, larger, and more technologically advanced than themselves simply by working together and believing in their own courage. Rawl stepped back, allowing the alien commander to rise. He did not strike again, demonstrating control and mercy. The humans cheered quietly, inspired not by victory, but by the demonstration of true strength. The aliens regrouped, confused and shaken. Their commander had been bested by a single human, yet he had not died. The lesson was clear. Physical power alone was not enough to defeat humanity. Zorvac looked at the humans around Rawl. They were tired, injured, but unbroken. Each one moved with purpose, supporting their allies, preparing for the next wave, and maintaining order. Together, they were unstoppable. That night, the battlefield was quiet again. Humans repaired defenses, helped the wounded, and prepared for what would come next. And at the center of it all, Rawl stood, calm and unwavering, showing that true strength came not from weapons or numbers, but from courage, unity, and the will to endure. Zorvac knew that the next day would test both sides again, but he also knew that humans had shown something no alien had ever seen before, the truth of their myths, alive and moving among them. The battlefield lay quiet after the duel, but the tension was far from gone. Smoke lingered in the air, mixing with the dust of crushed debris. The aliens regrouped in small clusters, their confidence shaken. For the first time, they questioned what they had seen, what they had fought against. Humans, creatures they had once thought fragile, were far more than they imagined. Zorvac moved cautiously along the edge of the alien lines. His eyes remained fixed on the humans, who were still busy tending to the wounded, repairing structures, and reinforcing defenses. Despite the exhaustion visible on their faces, they moved with purpose and precision. The war champion, Rawl, stood among them, giving quiet instructions and encouragement. Cathar stomped his claws against the ground, his face contorted with anger and disbelief. "We will not retreat. Humans are mortal. We have strength, weapons, and numbers. They will fall." Zorvak shook his head. "Not today. Not ever. You do not understand them yet. Humans are more than strength or weapons. Their power lies in their spirit, their unity, their will." Cathar growled and raised his weapon, preparing for another attack. But hesitation rippled through the alien soldiers. Many had witnessed Rawl's duel firsthand, seen the human champion's control and strategy, and watched ordinary humans perform feats they could not explain. Doubts had begun to grow into fear. Suddenly, a small group of human soldiers launched a coordinated counterattack. They moved quickly, targeting weak points in the alien formation. Zorvak gasped as he saw humans carrying fallen comrades while simultaneously disabling alien drones. They worked as one, anticipating each other's moves, covering every angle and ensuring no one was left behind. Cathar's face twisted in disbelief. "Impossible! No one can survive this coordination!" Rawl's voice carried over the battlefield. "Watch and understand. This is human strength. Not weapons, not numbers, not size, but unity, courage, and the will to endure. Every human stands for each other. Together we are unstoppable." Zorvak felt his heart pound. He had spent his entire life believing humans were weak. Now, he saw the truth in front of him. They were far stronger than anyone had realized, not because of raw power, but because of determination, ingenuity, and teamwork. The alien soldiers tried to advance, but the humans' coordination was flawless. Traps slowed their movements, barricades redirected their charges. Even injured humans acted with precision, supporting one another and keeping the front lines intact. The aliens struggled to adapt. Cathar's anger grew, but so did his frustration. Every attempt to push forward was met with clever resistance. For every alien who fell, a human rose to take their place. The alien commander had underestimated the humans completely. Zorvak watched in awe as Rawl moved among the humans, demonstrating strength and leadership. He helped the wounded, guided the fighters, and maintained calm in the chaos. Even from a distance, Zorvak could see the respect and loyalty the humans had for him. They followed not out of fear, but out of belief in his courage and wisdom. The battle reached its climax when Rawl faced the alien commander once more, this time not as a duel, but as the decisive action of the fight. He anticipated the commander's movements, using clever tactics and timing to exploit weaknesses. In a single swift motion, Rawl disarmed him completely, sending his weapons skidding across the ground. The aliens gasped. Their strongest warrior, the symbol of their might, was defeated, not through violence alone, but through strategy, intelligence, and teamwork. Rawl did not strike him again. He stepped back, showing control, mercy, and the strength of his will. Zorvak felt a thrill run through him. "This is not just strength," he whispered. "This is leadership, courage, and humanity itself." The alien soldiers began to retreat, their morale shattered. Some refused orders, unwilling to continue fighting against humans who seemed invincible when united. Others carried their wounded, desperate to escape the battlefield before more were lost. Cathar's pride and authority had crumbled. As the aliens withdrew, Rawl called out to them. "Go back to your leaders. Tell them what you have seen. Humans are not weak. We endure, we adapt, and we fight for each other. This is our truth." Zorvak followed the retreating troops, his mind alive with new understanding. He had once laughed at human myths, but now he had witnessed their reality. Strength was not only in muscle, size, or weapons. It was in unity, spirit, and determination. The humans cheered quietly, not with arrogance, but with quiet pride. They had survived overwhelming odds, fought bravely, and shown the aliens their true strength. Even the wounded rose, helping each other and preparing for the possibility of another attack. Rahl spoke to his people, his voice calm but firm. Today we have shown them what humans are capable of. But remember, our strength is not only in battle. It is in how we care for each other, in how we endure and protect what is ours. That is what makes us strong. Zorvak approached Rahl cautiously. I never believed. I thought humans were weak. Myths were lies. But I see now, you and your people, you are incredible. Rahl nodded, his eyes kind but focused. You see the truth now. Strength is not about fear or domination. It is about courage, unity, and protecting those who cannot defend themselves. Remember this lesson, young one. Zorvak felt something shift deep inside him. He had trained to fight aliens, to conquer and destroy. Now he understood that there was more to strength than power or aggression. Humans were living proof of this truth. The alien army retreated into the distance, carrying stories of the humans who had bested them. Their commanders would report not just defeat, but the unbelievable courage, coordination, and resilience of an entire species. Legends had walked among them, and they had survived to tell the tale. Zorvak looked at Rahl and the humans around him. They were tired, some injured, but unbroken. Each one moved with purpose, supporting allies and maintaining order. Together, they were unstoppable. Cathar, last to retreat, turned his gaze back at the humans. Rage and disbelief twisted his features. We underestimated them. We never expected this. Zorvak placed a clawed hand on his commander's shoulder. It is not weakness. It is humanity. They fight together, endure together, and rise together. That is strength no weapon can break. As night fell, the humans rebuilt, healed, and prepared. Their victory was not just survival, it was a statement to the galaxy. Humans were not fragile, not weak, and not to be underestimated. Legends of their courage and skill were real, and their story would travel far beyond this planet. Rahl looked up at the stars, knowing that the fight was over for now. But the message was clear. Humans would never be dismissed again. They had faced an advanced alien force, shown the truth of their myths, and survived. Zorvak stayed nearby, watching silently. He knew that the galaxy would remember this day, not because of weapons, numbers, or brute force, but because humans had shown what true strength really meant, and he, once a doubter, had seen it with his own eyes. Above, the stars shone bright and endless, witnessing a species whose courage and unity had rewritten what others thought possible. Humans had endured, adapted, and inspired awe. They were more than myths, they were reality. And somewhere deep in the galaxy, the tale of this victory would travel, spreading the truth of human strength. Aliens would speak of the war champion who led his people, the humans who never broke, and the unity that made them legends. The first battle was over. The aliens had retreated. The humans had survived. And the galaxy would never underestimate them again.